seems that bad behaviour is really, well, kind of celebrated, particularly if you work for the BBC. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, and as ever, nice to have your company. Let's all have a big wave. Can wave at the moment, different camera, yes, you know what it's like. A lot trickier with the other one. A little bit like Basil Brush. Does anybody remember Basil Brush? You do, don't you? Larry the Lamb? Yes, you remember them all, don't you? I used to love all those children's puppets. They never answered back, did they? A lot easier to work with. Unlike, of course, some of our BBC presenters over here in the United Kingdom. Now, I don't know if you recall this incident last month, which we reported on, regarding the BBC newsreader auto cue copier, Martine Croxall. You remember she was gleefully happy that the former British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Boris Johnson, had basically decided to drop out of the race to become once again the British Prime Minister. And if you remember it, she said, I know I shouldn't be happy, but I truly am. This is on the BBC, supposedly an impartial news channel, bringing you all the news with impartiality. Seemingly she forgot that on this particular occasion. Guess what? She was taken off air and then an investigation took place. That's right, an investigation at the cost of the British taxpayer. You, the licence payer. That's right. I mean, what was there to investigate? You know, she said it live on air, and she said she was happy with her decision to say that on air. The brand new BBC boss, head of news, Deborah Turnis, who I've worked for personally, apparently led that particular investigation. And guess what? Martine is now back on the BBC. That's right, yet to receive an apology, yet to find out exactly what the background is to this particular incident. But we now know, don't we, her shall we say, views, politically at least. So how can she remain in such a high-profile post, in a role that's over £100,000 a year, to read the news that somebody else has basically written for her? They're not really journalists, a lot of these presenters, you know, they simply just read an auto cue. And then in the case of Martine, she basically is a newspaper reviewer, brings people on and they discuss guests, a story late at night. That's the level of input, shall we say. So if many people over here in the United Kingdom are now truly debating, what is the point of paying a licence fee if you're truly just paying for someone else's opinions, not impartiality, which is what allegedly the BBC stands for. Moving forward, this is incredibly damaging for the corporation on its 100th year history. They should be celebrating, letting people know exactly what a great service they are too, not just here in the United Kingdom, but of course around the world via the BBC World Service. We all look back at those special reports and think, wow, what a great institution it is. Now, in the 21st century, right here in 2022, Miss Croxall, Martine, is the face of that new impartiality. Many people believe that she should be fired for simply doing what she did. As ever, I'd love to know your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to know exactly what you think to this particular story. It's not going away, and people are uprising, refusing now to pay their TV licenses. Do you agree with that? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.